Alright, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd do something a little fun, I guess. It's still about makeup, but I kind of wanted to show all the products that I've bought during this whole quarantine lockdown time. It was technically a haul and a review of a lot of these products because I've had time to use them all. So if you want to see about all of that and see all the stuff that I kind of conjured up during this time, then stay tuned. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna show you guys some of the new lip products I've gotten because that's probably the bulk of a lot of the things that I got. First things first, we're gonna talk about Fenty Beauty and how they made Cheeky full size. So I actually love this lip gloss when it came out in the bundle, the holiday bundle, but I didn't like the bundle enough to get it just for this shade. So they came out with the full size, super pretty. On my skin tone, it more so shows like a vivid peach. If you're lighter than me, it's gonna show more like closer to like a true red orange. But it shows like a vivid peach or like a light coral with a nice gold reflect. It's perfect for the summer. It's a great summer shade. That's actually why I bought it. This is really pretty. Love this one. Now going into other glosses, Sephora just revamped a lot of their Sephora collection makeup. And one of the glosses that they launched was Glossed, and this is in the color Not Today. Next, this one kind of blew my mind. This one is actually a great dupe for the clear Fenty Beauty, which I love. It's the Essence Gloss, the Shine 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 Gloss. I bought this during the Ulta Beauty. They had a sale, and this gloss is actually very cheap. It's already only like $3, but with the sale it was like less than $2, so I was like, just get it. Y'all, this gloss is amazing. It's not sticky, it's glassy, it feels good on the lips, it smells so good. It smells so good. It smells actually very similar to, not very similar, but a similar kind of like fruity vanilla smell like the Fenty glosses. So if you're not with spending an upwards of $18 on a gloss like the Fenty one, you can definitely do this one. I would say the major difference between these is that the Fenty one is a little bit more viscous. So I found that even though I do love the Essence one actually deems better to me in a lot of ways. But as far as the longevity of like the glassy shine, the Fenty one lasts longer, if that makes sense. But it's not sticky on the lips. It's just like, it stays there. All right, so next one is actually a drugstore pick. So Maybelline just released some new glosses. These are actually the Lifter Gloss by Maybelline. I don't know if Fenty is like becoming, or maybe it's just me because I love the Fenty glosses. So I'm like holding everything to the standard of the Fenty Gloss Bomb. The range of these and the way they look actually very much so remind me of like the Fenty aesthetic with like the very pale nudie pink. And then this color in particular looks very much like Fenty Glow. Sorry, Fenty Glow is more of like a sheer rose gold. This actually reigns more of like a actual pink with gold shimmer. So this one is more opaque. So if you like Fenty Gloss Bomb, but you wish it had a little bit more color, this is actually a great option. This is actually great because it actually shows up like pink. Now the difference between this one and the Fenty Glow from Fenty Beauty is that this one is more nourishing, in my opinion, or it feels that way. I know the Fenty Gloss Bombs are formulated with like shea butter and they are a moisturizing gloss bomb, but this one feels more like a nourishing like lip balm, if that makes sense. So this one feels more balmy. It is formulated with hyaluronic acid like you see there. So this one also plumps the lips. And I think this actually has like, because of the lifter word, it actually has like a little bit, very mild, a little bit of like a plumping action happening. So this was really nice. It's not as glossy though as Fenty Glow. But if you just wanted to try and see about a new drugstore gloss like I did, this is a great option. And it does have like a little bit of like a gold reflect in there. So you still get some of like that dimensional shimmer that Fenty Glow gives you, but it's a lot milder in my opinion. So yeah, that's a really good one. So this next one was actually a random buy. I'm actually glad I got it. And it was very interesting. It's kind of hard to see on this camera, but this is like a pearlescent lavender, and it has green flecks in it. I actually had it on my lips earlier, so I put this over the peachy nude that I had on. Yeah, you can kind of see it better when I put it on. It picks up better. But you see it kind of has like more of a shift, like a purpley green shift. And I kind of really like it over this peach, because it's kind of like combating, almost neutralizing the fact that what I have on is more of a warm nude, and making it look more like a neutral, kind of shifty bluey green. I think it's really cute. It's giving me Xenon vibes. It's giving me early 2000s holographic, like the futuristic, like hip hop videos, and it used to have like a holographic shifty moment going on. Like that's what this is giving me, and I love it. It's great. I think this is like $7. I got it at CVS. But yeah, this was actually a great find. It was random. It was the last one there, so I just picked it up because they're actually very nice. They're super glossy. They don't last as long as you saw. Like it didn't last that long, but for the effect, why not for $7? Well, next we have actually a brand. Yeah, this is the last of the glosses. This brand is actually very new to me. It's very dear to me because it's by my friend. Her name is Shanira. And we went to college together, and she came out with her own brand of lip glosses and lip products. So Shanira actually is one of those, she's a gloss girl. Like she loves her some gloss. She's always layering on gloss. I remember this predominantly about her when we were in school. And I'm so proud of her for doing this. So I bought a couple things from her. I believe this is in the color, I believe they're both in the color Beauty Mark, if I'm not mistaken. They look a little bit different. Like this one has more of like a chocolatey feel. This is more of like a taupey, like brown. They're both beautiful on. I'll show you, that way you can see a comparison. So now we're going to get into the lipsticks. So a lot of them I bought for fall. First one is actually a collaboration with Tiana Taylor and MAC. This is a bullet lipstick, and this has like a soft matte finish. As you saw, this is in a very like nice pinky deep nude. This is the color I Got a Man. That's what that looks like. So it looks like that up against my skin tone. Now this is more of a deeper pink nude. So if you don't like the lighter peachy nudes like the one I have on now, or even just light cool pink nudes like bubblegum pinks and stuff like that, this is actually a really nice color. But if you're of a deeper and richer complexion, this is a really nice nude for you. Next, we have one that's actually very similar in tone. This is from Artist Couture. This is in the color Power Play. And this color is actually very similar to the one I just showed you from Tiana Taylor's collaboration. This looks matte, like the top looks matte. It's not matte. This is like a silk cream finish. So this one has a little bit more luster to it. And this one is, as you see, they're both very similar, but the dimension is different, like the hue is different. This is more of like a muted beige pink, like more of a beige, versus this one has a lot more pink to it. So they're very similar in tone. I bought them because they're deeper nudes. Typically I'm doing like lighter peachy nudes like this, but I wanted some deeper nudes to work with. So those are very similar, but those are very, very nice. So next, I have some lipsticks that I bought from another brand during the National Lipstick Day sale. These are from Melt. So let me show you what these look like. Frisky is a, looks like that. Frisky is a peachy nude. That's what I have on today underneath that Almay lip gloss I showed earlier. So you can tell I've already dipped into her. Typically I'm wearing something like this with liner. Next, we have Old Fashioned. So Old Fashioned is a very peculiar color. I do have colors like this in my lipstick collection, but I wanted like a bullet lipstick version. This is like a gray brown, and this is very much giving me like 90s, and I really want to wear it in the fall time. I think it's going to be so dope with like a grungy look. This is what it looks like on my skin tone. So this is definitely more cool toned, definitely more gray, but I wear colors like this. I'm not afraid of colors like that. I wear them all the time, especially in the fall. So yeah, I'm very excited about that one. This one is one I've been meaning to get for a while. It's Dark Room. This, I actually remember when this launched. It actually launched around my birthday, and I like it because it's not super deep. Here it is here. Like most of my berries and purples are actually very deep, like more like blackened plums. So this one's a little bit lighter, which I like. So this is more of like a berry tone to me, and it's gonna be so pretty in the fall time. It's gonna be amazing. Last but not least, I have a liquid lipstick, as you saw, from Melt. This is the color Ebony. So it's like that. This is the wand. It has a very like flexible wand, which is nice. It also has a long wand, so it makes it easy for you to just line really fast and fill in your lips like literally in seconds. So this one, let me show y'all what I mean by like deep brown. This is what I want browns to look like on me. See how rich that is? That is the contrast that I want on me. The brown that I am is a great contrast on somebody who is light and fair skin, but on me, I need something even richer than that. So this is like rich. So lastly, for the lip products, I have this other brand that I've seen for a long time. I've seen it for a long time, but they always had a very unique color that stood out to me in their liquid lipsticks, and it's the color Frenchie from Aboni Cosmetics. Aboni, if I'm saying that right, please let me know if I am in the comments. Aboni Cosmetics, this is the color Frenchie, and they were having a sale. So this is a very interesting color, right? But I tried it on and I liked it a lot. This is what it looks like up against my skin. It actually gives me more of a 90s vibe too, like the yellow beiges you used to see on like supermodels sometimes. Like that's what this is giving me. So after that, I was like, okay, since I'm getting that unique color, let me see what else they got. So I pulled up and bought this kind of like grayish brown. This is the color called Killer Queen. Now on the website, it did look darker, but it was swatched on somebody way lighter than me in complexion. So it looked like a deeper brown. This translates more like a darker version of that Old Fashioned bullet lipstick from Melt that I showed you. It is a deeper brown, which I like, but it's more cool in undertone. Like it has a little bit of like gray taupey-ness to it. Again, a very grungy color that I do not mind wearing in the fall. And then lastly, Okay, so this is my favorite one. So this is, girl, this is Sweet as Taboo. And the reason why this red is like in my brain the way it is because this is very much reminding me of my favorite red. And if you know me very well, you know my favorite red is Colored Rain Cherry Blossom. Like, this is a hit, okay? I prefer blue-based reds on myself. I actually prefer the contrast on myself, so a more cool tone like cherry red just pops on my skin tone. Like, it's insane. So I'm gonna swatch these two so you can see what I'm talking about. But this is like, even in the tube, you can kind of see this is more of like a really deep cherry red. Like, this actually looks like a cherry. Okay, so this is Cherry Blossom. Very much a blue-based red. You can kind of see it even like as light is flashing on it. This is gonna dry down a little bit darker, but she's it. I love her. She looks good. She looks very good around Christmas time. In the winter in general, she just, she's so good. So when I found Sweet as Taboo, honey, and this is actually a black-owned brand, and this shade is inspired by Sade, who wears her infamous red all the time. This is inspired by her, obviously, because of the name. You can see why I have the dilemma that I do. This is Sweet as Taboo. Do you see what I mean? It's richer. There's more blue in there. It's a little bit deeper. I tried it on as soon as I got it with no makeup on, and it looked insane. And not insane in like a bad way, but like the brightness and the richness of the tone looked so good. I cannot wait to wear this. But you see, they dry down very fast. You see how deep this got? Now, another point of difference between these two, not only is this richer in comparison, this also lasts so. I had issues getting it off, okay? I'm about to try to wipe it off now that it's like fully dried down. But this, like, look how easily Cherry Blossom came off. And I put that on first. This is still here. This is taking so long to come off. Like, this, it stays. The longevity of that wear is insane, y'all. So if you don't have a Holy Grail red lipstick and you're open to liquid lipsticks, or you've never tried liquid lipsticks before, as long as you have a good lip prep, that Sweet as Taboo, she indeed is. She indeed is. Right, so that is actually it for all the lips. I know that was quite a bit of product, but everything else is gonna go by a little bit faster. I just wanted to kind of get those out the way because those are what I have the most of. Next thing we're gonna get into is eyes. So I bought a couple of things that are new, and I have a couple of things that you may have heard of before, but I was eager to try them, so I did. First thing is going to be like cake liners, or like dry powder liners that are water activated. These are from Glam. So these are liners that you open up like this, and so you can spray them down with water, or you could wet your brush, and the water will activate them and turn them into a liquid, and then you can use them in that formulation. So I bought several of these. I don't know where my yellow one is. I have a yellow one. So I bought all the primary colors, and then I bought a white, and I think I just bought this random orange because I thought it was pretty. I've worn them a little bit in the past, and they wore beautifully. They didn't crack or like peel up on me. They're very vivid and opaque. Like I didn't have to go over them a whole bunch to get them to have the payoff that they needed in order to show up. And I believe these are also UV activated. So if you're under UV light, they will show. The colors I got, this is not really like a true blue. They do have a true blue, but my favorite color is teal. So about this one, this is in the color Evergreen. So it's literally like a blue green, a very deep blue green. And then the red that I showed is Bandana. The yellow one I have somewhere. The yellow one's called Crop Top. And then this fluorescent orange is Hot Pants. And then this white is called Skate Day. So I like those a lot. I played around with them. I did like a neon liner just to see how that would work. And it turned out beautifully. So I love it. Next, we have a new release, and this is from a new brand that just came on the scene. You guys know that I work at Sephora, and this is from Patrick Starr. This is the One Size Visionary palette, and I was very excited to buy this. I'm actually very much a fan of Patrick Starr and his approach and his mission with beauty, and I very much wanted to support him. So this is the palette here. As you see, she's been loved. I've used her quite a bit actually. Have her on today. I have on what do I have on? I have on Booked, Soft Serve, Brownie, Rebel Gray. Those are the ones that I have on today on my eyes. So I did like a little bit of a mix of like some warm tones and the cool like lavender gray that's on my eyes. So I actually love this look. This is a very well put together palette. I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. So for one, I love that this is asymmetrical. So he actually made it that way because he and many others do wear nails. Typically I will have like a nail on, but I'm struggling right now, y'all. But he made that so that you can easily open this palette without having to flick or probably potentially break your nail. But the design of this palette is very well thought out. I really like the way this is organized. It's pretty much organized in the sense that you can pretty much do a look with every column. So this can be like a neutral like gold look. This could be like a matte like warm brown. This can be like a rose gold look, your green, and then your blue. Like, it's very easy to navigate because of the way this was arranged. And those are things as a makeup artist that I noticed, because it makes it easy when I just want to pull out one palette, just go through it and create a look. I actually did just recently use this on a shoot that I did, and I had no issues with it. They are soft, like softer as far as being pressed, so they do have a little bit of fallout, but they're super pigmented. They're very like creamy, and they have a lot of like shadow payoff. Like, they have a lot of payoff. Like, girl, look at this blue. I can't wait to use that blue. I'm gonna swatch a shimmer so you can see what that looks like too. Like, the shimmers are actually very, very pretty. Like, look at that shimmer. Very pretty. And with this palette, he also came out with a host of other things. You guys, if you've seen it, you know about his dissolving mist that he came out with, accompanied by his wipes. And that's a really innovative concept, to have like a spray oil that you use to kind of dissolve all of the makeup. And then his wipes are like better and more resourceful, because you don't have to go through too many to get all of the product off or get all of the makeup off your face. He has that. He also has some other eye products. So I know he has like the shadow, like the eye liquid eye shadows, and they're super glittery, very dimensional shimmer and glitter. They're beautiful. And he also has liquid liners and regular like kohl pencil liners. All very great quality. That was that palette. Last thing for eyes is actually from one of my associates, and now a comrade in the beauty industry. She is an up-and-coming makeup artist as well as brand owner, and I wanted to present and give you guys a full review of her product. This is a new brand, Vixened by Vanessa Keri. This is her new brand of lashes. So the ones that I'm actually wearing today are actually from her brand. And these are from the Drama collection, and these are in the style Mariah. First of all, let me just get into the packaging. Like, you're never gonna forget who these came from. You're not. You're not gonna forget where these came from, what brand this is. Because most of the girls are not, they're not giving you this. I actually have those lashes on today. These are more of a rounded lash. So if you're looking for something to open up your eye or give you more of that rounded, bigger eye effect that are very dramatic, these are those. Accompanied with this, I also used her glider. So this is one of the more innovative products that, if you haven't seen before, it's a new product that has come onto the beauty industry. A couple of brands I've seen also have something like this, where it's a hybrid liner, and it really is a glue and a liner, liquid liner all in one. So I actually have that on, and that is also my adhesive for said lashes, and they're on there. They're on there. They're on there. So the directions for this one is you want to give it a good shake, and then you want to line. And then I think she says do a double layer, and then you want to wait like 3 to 5 seconds, and then you literally pop your lashes on. So this is a great option if you, for one, don't want to have to buy 2 separate products. Because typically, like, a liner at Sephora is around like $20 to $24 depending on the brand. And then a separate lash glue, like the Velour or the House of Lashes lash glue, is like another $9. So you're spending like almost $32 and some tax on both products, when you can get a glider and you can do your liner and adhere your lashes all in one step. It's faster, it's cheaper. I don't know why you're still sitting there. This is great. I love this product. This is awesome design. She also blinged these out too. So again, you're never gonna forget who got this for you. You're never gonna forget this brand. Another one that she gifted me is actually the Keri lash. So the Keri lash is actually more so the type of lash that I wear on a daily basis if I do wear lashes. This is from the Flutter collection. So she has 2 different ones. The Flutter collection is more of like the more simplified, kind of like natural natural umph. Whereas the drama one, like, you're gonna get, like, you got on lashes, boo. You got on like lashes. So I'm gonna show you what these look like. So these are gonna be more of a angular lash. So these are gonna give you more of like a traditional short to long, and they're gonna be a little bit more flared out on the outside. These are also very dimensional too, so they're very wispy and dimensional, so they're going to give you a lot of layering, which is going to give a nice natural effect, but it's going to give you a nice like dramatic fluff. So that's what these are. These are the style Keri, and Keri is Vanessa's middle name, so these are very nice. Yeah, this is more of like the lash that I typically wear. Because I do have rounder eyes, I like to kind of give them a little bit of balance by like winging them out, like making them look more almond. This is actually one of my favorite of the 2. Yeah, so this is great. I love these. So yeah, you guys check out Vixened by Vanessa Keri. I will link her information below. Check out her brand if you're looking for a new brand to support that sells lashes. And even if you have enough lashes, girl, get the glider. Because the glider is what she calls the game changer, and you need it. Okay, period. So last, we're gonna get into complexion, and then my little bonus stuff. We're gonna get into some of the complexion products that I bought during this time. The first one is actually the foundation that I'm wearing today. This is a foundation stick from a Black-owned brand. This is called Mented, and Mented is their shortening of the word pigmented. So this is a brand that actually caters to people of color. They make very good diverse shade ranges, and they make products that are compatible with different skin tones. They're the type of brand that's gonna give everybody their nude, if that makes sense. That's what Mented's giving. So this foundation stick, I would say, because I do have it on now, it's more of like a buildable medium coverage. I think it's more of like a traditional medium coverage. I did have to build it a little bit. And it's more of a hydrating foundation. Yeah, it's not matte. It's not matte. Even on my skin, I can tell it's not matte. So if you're in the market for a foundation stick, if you prefer foundation sticks, and you're on the drier side, this would be a really nice one. I am wearing the shade M10. So the M10, I believe, is more of a neutral, which I prefer sometimes, especially when my body looks a little bit more tan. Next one's gonna be from Bite Beauty. This is called the Change Maker. This is the Supercharged Micellar Foundation. So this came out, child, this year's been so long, I don't know if it was earlier this year or if it was last year. I think this was last year when the world was normal still. Yes, I think this was last year, maybe last summer. I don't know. But it's not that new, basically. This foundation is supposed to be like a natural finish. It's supposed to have some skincare ingredients. It's supposed to literally wear like a micellar product would. It's in a tube like this and has a thinner consistency, and it has a little bit of a dry down. So this one, I would say is more of like a natural matte foundation. And it is a long wearing foundation. Like, I think this was in the summer because I remember wearing it in the summer and being very surprised at the longevity of this foundation. And this is what it looks like. Yeah, this is the color D155. So if you feel like you're around my skin tone, this is more on the golden side. As I said before, I am a little bit more tan right now, so I'm reading more red on camera. But typically, like my chest and stuff is typically this color. This is a very nice foundation if you want a foundation that's like thinner, kind of has a little bit of a dry down, and kind of feels like nothing on the skin, like wears like skin. It's a really nice one. Okay, next we have the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. So this one actually is a foundation and a concealer in one. So I'm going to show you what that actually means. This comes with a pump, and then you can also open this and use this as concealer. And what is good about that is, like the Bite Beauty one, I bought my shade that I matched myself to at the beginning of quarantine. So this actually would be great on me as a concealer. Like, this is the same shade as like my brightening concealer, but it's a little too light for like my foundation right now. So I like the aspect of it doubling as a concealer, because say if you got a shade that was too light or too dark for you, if it was too dark for me, I could take this wand and use it as contour. It's too light for me right now, so I would use it as a brightening concealer. And then once I'm back, once I kind of lose a little bit of my color, probably more so in the winter, I can use this all over from the pump as a foundation. So it's a very versatile product. This has a lot of skincare benefits in here. This is also a vegan, cruelty-free brand, and they're a cleaner brand as well. This has more of a natural matte finish and is like more of a medium to full coverage, which is typically right up my alley. That's typically what I'm wearing a lot of the time. So I actually love this foundation, just not the best shade for me at the moment. All right, last foundations and complexion, well, liquid stuff. I have this Flesh Beauty liquid foundation. I bought this on a whim. Again, during the Ulta Beauty, they had a sale like mid-quarantine. And I just bought this randomly. I was very familiar with these sticks, as I remember going into Ulta Beauty, like the store, and seeing the sticks lined up. So I saw this on sale. It was literally $8, y'all. $8. And this is in the color Hazelnut, which I remember being either Hazelnut or Cafe in the sticks. But Cafe in the liquid foundation was a little light, so I bought Hazelnut. And this is actually she's like a dead on match, especially right now that I'm tan. Like she's a good match. So I don't find that this one is super long wearing, because like if I sweat, it's not gonna stay like I need to. Like this would be a great foundation for me once fall and winter comes, where it's a lot colder outside. This is it on my skin. Yes, exactly. Where is it? Exactly. So if you need a virtual shade match, sis, don't be afraid to hit me up. Lastly, we have the Oma Stay Woke Concealer. And this is in the color Brown Sugar T2. So this is in the category of brown sugar, which is like tan to deep, I believe. And then this is, the depth is T2. I believe there's one above this. And then I think there's a T3 and a T4 in the brown sugar category. And this is a matte concealer, full coverage, girl. I have it on now, it's full coverage. This one, she took me a minute to get right. I find that this one, and I've used other matte concealers before. I'm actually very familiar with matte concealers. And she took me a minute to get together. Like I've had issues with using her with my sponge before, her breaking up, with like other foundations. And what I find is that this plays better with a more like natural finish, hydrating, more emollient foundation, if that makes sense. So just in the future, if you're looking into Oma, or if you have this concealer and you've experienced the same thing as I did, try a more hydrating foundation first. All right, next we're gonna get into brushes. So these brushes were revamped. They did exist beforehand, but of course a lot of the brush line was redone. So these styles still exist. And the one that I bought was 70, which is a flat, dense, buffing, kabuki kind of brush. This is a full coverage brush when it comes to foundation, because the bristles are so densely packed. It's gonna allow you to concentrate more coverage where you need it and gain that coverage faster than something that has longer bristles. It's gonna diffuse your product more, and I'll get more into that when we talk about tools. But that's why I like brushes like this. So if you're looking for a full coverage brush and you find that your tools are not doing it for you, girl, try the 70. She's bomb. The other one that I bought, I do have a brush that I like for bronzer from the Sephora collection, but something just told me to buy this fluffier one. I more so bought this for my kit. This is the number 80, and this is classified as the bronzer brush. So there's the 59, which is the one I have, which is a smaller version of this. There's the new 50, I believe, which is more of like a rounded, fluffier brush. I believe Andrea Renee likes that one, the 50. And then this is the 80, so this is the bigger one. This is great if you are a bronzer wearer, you like bronzer and you put it on heavy, okay? You like bronzer, or if you're using bronzer to balance out foundation and you need to put on like quite a bit, this one's great. Like this one, you can get it on, you diffuse it onto the skin quite fast, and it just gives you a super diffused look very fast because it's so fluffy. Like it literally just softly places that bronzer onto your skin, and you can build it without creating any harsh lines. This is also great for beginners too. Like if you feel like the bronzer brushes you have are too small and they're creating like harsh lines on your face, try a fluffier one, because if it's fluffier, it's going to diffuse the product in more areas versus like something that's skinnier and like concentrates it there. So I love this brush. I love this for in my kit when I'm doing like no makeup on clients. It's great. It's awesome. And they're both synthetic, by the way. So if you're looking for synthetic brushes, animal and cruelty free, these are great. Lastly, for complexion, we have like some powder and cream products. First ones I'm going to talk about actually the ones that were released earlier during quarantine, which were the Fenty Beauty cream products. So the first one I'm going to show you is actually the blush, and this is the color Daiquiri Dip from Fenty Beauty. I love this blush. This is actually very comparable for me to the Cheeky It's literally like that version of that color. This is such a beautiful color in the summertime on brown skin, y'all. This is giving like rich summer coral vibes. This is so pretty. This is really good if you're doing a no makeup look. It's good if you're doing something more glam like what I have on today. This is just such a pretty color in the summer. These are great if you're oily. Reason being, a lot of cream blushes and things like that, oily people tend to be afraid of, because it's like, ooh sis, more cream, like no, we don't want to do that, nothing emollient on my skin. But those, even though they're creamy, they're not like super dewy. They have enough of like a healthy sheen to where they look like healthy blush, like flush skin, but they're not like super shiny to where you feel like if I were to build this, it's just gonna fall apart the second I sweat or anything like that. So you see how it has more like a satin finish? You can build it up as much as you want to and it won't look super overpowering. That's another reason why I like those. But that color is just so pretty. Ooh, this on the eyes, and then you put like Fenty this over it. Oh, please. All right, next is the Fenty cream bronzer, and I got the color chocolate. Looks like this here. So this one I like. This one feels more of like a neutral color on me. This doesn't feel like a bronzer, like for warmth, if that makes sense. This feels like if I was using a bronzer for depth. So like I like using this with like my foundations that I told you are a little bit too light for me and I need to deepen and give dimension to the outside of my face. This is great for that. This is great when I need to do it and I want to do it with a cream skin-like product. This is beautiful. But I wish this was a little bit warmer because I like my bronzers to either be a neutral or I like for them to be really warm, like almost red. Fenty already offers the matchsticks, and I have espresso, which is very similar to this. This kind of feels a little bit more redundant as far as the tone because it's very similar to espresso in the fact that it's more of like a neutral brown. So that's the only gripe I have with this one, but other than that, the formulation of it is beautiful. It's awesome. Last thing from Fenty Beauty that we have is the Diamond Balm, and this is in the new one. This is Cognac Candy. So she looks like this, and I bought a lot of these things for summer because I just knew they would like literally snap. But like all these three products on the cheeks, sis, look at this. Look at how the sun is hitting it right now. Girl, let me put this on my hand and put it in the sun so you can see what it's giving. Because this on the décolleté, this on the shoulders, this on the eyes, this on top of lip gloss, on the lips, on the cheeks, on bronze brown skin. Girl, look at that. Insane. That is so beautiful on the skin. It's so pretty. I have the original Diamond Balm, which I love. That one has more of a cool tone, like silvery fleck to it. And I love that one. Like that's something that I would put on top of this like more cool tone lavender gray. And that would literally make this look like it was shining diamonds. Like literally, when they say Diamond Balm, they mean it. It's literally like a microfine shimmer. And it doesn't have much color as far as like a base, but what makes it different is the tone of it. So next we have a bronzer, another bronzer. This is not a cream bronzer, this is a powder bronzer. I wanted to support an indie brand. I wanted to support a black owned brand. So I bought the Prime Beauty bronzer, and this one is in bronzer, sorry. This is a bronzer in the color Bronzeville. This is what I'm wearing now to give me that like warmth on the outside of my face. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful bronzer. It's like the perfect tone. This is what it looks like in the pan. It's like perfectly, it's almost like neutral warm. It's like, it's not super red. Like if you think of like Mocha Mommy from Fenty Beauty, it's not that red, even though I own that one too and I love it. but it's like a mixture of Mocha Mami and Coco Naughty from Fenty Beauty in one. The perfect color for me. I know because of the tone of this, I can wear it year round. It's red enough to give me more warmth even when I'm more tan like I am now, but it's neutral enough so that if I need to give a little bit of definition, it does that too. Matte bronzer too. So this one does not have any shimmer, so if you are like me and don't like a shimmery bronzer, this one is matte. It's perfect. Last, for like all the shimmery stuff, we have another part of the collaboration with Tiana Taylor and MAC. So this is the mineralized skin finish in House of Petunia, and this is a mineralized skin finish. Beautiful. I don't have it on now, but I can put a little bit on so you can see what this looks like. So it looks like this. It's very pretty. It's like a lighter pillar gold, like more of a gold champagne. But it's still very flattering on my skin. It's beautiful. I love this one. This one's super gorgeous. It can be very subtle, or you can literally build this up and it'll be like beaming. It's stunning. So pretty. Okay, lastly, for complexion, I swear. This is actually from a luxury prestige brand. This is Givenchy. And this is the Prism Libre powder. They extended their shade range by 2 shades. They have a tan one now. So this is the one right before this one. So it's a shade lighter. And then now they have this deep one. I was gifted this one by our Givenchy rep at work. The consensus of Givenchy powders, the Prism Libre, is that the prism aspect comes from the fact that they're made with 4 different colors. They look like this. That's better. They have 2 color correcting tones and then 2 like skin tones in here. So these would be the corrective tones. So you see there's like a more like muted apricot and then like more of a coral shade in here. It's meant to be corrective on my skin tone. I show up here like this. And then there's 2 skin tone shades, so it has like more of like that golden yellow tone and then more of that like richer deep brown. So when these all mix together, they make the perfect blurring, color correcting, smoothing, diffusing powder. I actually have this on to set my primer. So if you guys don't know that trick, you can set your primer if you're on the oilier side. It kind of helps to subdue a little bit of the shininess, and it's perfect. It doesn't show up any texture. It helps to not lightly, like more lightly control my oil. It's not super mattifying, which is why it's great for all skin types, all ages. But it is blurring, which I like. I do notice that like if I'm not wearing a super like pore filling primer, this will kind of go in and kind of like blur that out for me before I put on foundation. So that's a good extra step. Or you can, I've worn it alone, like on days where I didn't want to wear makeup, because it is corrective. It does help to correct and even out the skin tone. So I actually really love that powder. It's actually great. I'm glad that they extended the shade range. So if you were interested in trying it and you were of my complexion, this is a very nice one. The next powder I have is actually newer. It's not new, but it's newer. And this is from Anastasia. So I used this recently on my client, and I used this as a brightening powder on her. Now the Anastasia powders, very mattifying. So these were perfect for her because she was super oily. I'm also very oily in my T-zone. But this is the color Deep Peach, which I find is a very good brightening shade for a very rich skin tone. Not super rich, because they do have one that's darker, which is like the, I think it's called Golden Orange. Now, when I use it on myself, I'm a 420, and I found that this wasn't as brightening as I would have liked. This one kind of dulled down the brightness of my concealer, and I went back in and kind of brightened it a little bit more with another powder. But this one was a little too like orange for my under eye. So I found that this wasn't compatible if I'm looking for a brightening effect. However, if this is a day where I'm not doing a brighter under eye, if this is a day where I'm doing like no makeup, but I really need to mattify that area, and I don't want to take like a literal brown powder up under my eye, this would be great for that. This is awesome for that. But for like the bright eye that I typically like to wear with like a more glam look like this, it's just not bright enough. Lastly, we're gonna talk a little bit about some skincare and like some random stuff. So first thing we're gonna talk about is the new Laneige. The product isn't new, the scent is new. This is the Lip Sleeping Mask from Laneige. You wear at night. And what it's supposed to do is supposed to wrap your lips in this like moisture shield to help with rejuvenating your lips while you sleep. I love this stuff. I have the original, which is like the berry one. That's the original pink one that you see all the time if you've seen this before. But this was a limited edition flavor or scent, and I didn't want to miss out on it, so I bought it immediately, and I'm probably gonna save it for like winter. It smells so good. It smells so good. You know how when you leave gummy bears, because this is the gummy bear scent. You know how if you leave, like if you have purple gummy bears and you left them out in the sun and they got like kind of warm and melted, and you first open the bag and you got a whiff of it. It smells like a great gummy bear that got warm in the sun. I hope I explained that right. I hope that didn't damper you wanting to buy this, because it actually smells delicious. It smells like a grape gumdrop. It's so good though. So that's a lip care product that I bought. It comes with a little spatula, all of them do. So you use these to keep from contaminating with your fingers. Lastly, we have a new product that just hit the scene like last month is when it was announced, but it recently was released to the public to buy online. This is the Fenty Skin release, and this particular product is a part of their starters line with your basic products for skincare, like routine. And this is the fat water. So this is pretty much like a thick toner, thin serum hybrid. Rihanna made sure that she made this a little bit more convenient so that a lot of her products are gonna be multitasking. So this is one of the aspects of that concept. So as you see, even though this is a toner, this is a lot more viscous than like your very liquidy toners that literally look like water. This one comes with a spin up cap. And this one's formulated with witch hazel, niacinamide. It has the fig extract, cactus flower extract, and it also has the cerula or the Barbados cherry that she mentioned, which is an antioxidant and is another form of vitamin C. So this one's a really nice one. It has a light scent to it, so this one does have a little bit of fragrance, but she made this particularly with this spin cap so that you didn't have to use a cotton pad with this. So you just kind of squirt it out like that, and it comes in your hand like that. So it's runnier than a serum, but it's thicker than a traditional toner. So you would just take that into your hands, and then you would just kind of stamp it on to your skin and let it absorb as you normally would. I have on makeup, so you know my chest won't get the benefits today. So yeah, super hydrating. It feels really nice on the skin. It absorbs too, so it doesn't feel like it's just sitting on top. It really absorbs to deliver those ingredients. Just be mindful that if you are sensitive to fragrance, most people are, some people don't even know they are. Keep that in mind, that it is a mild fragrance. Now we're gonna get into fragrance. Speaking of Rihanna, I did buy the Killian Love Don't Be Shy Rollerball from Sephora. I bought this when we were in hard lockdown, so we couldn't go into the store. And mind you, Killian isn't Sephora, but Love Don't Be Shy isn't. So this was a blind buy, but based on the notes that I read, I'm pretty familiar with notes. I knew I would like this one, and also like a lot of the other Killian fragrances. So I knew it was gonna be a banger, especially if Rihanna's wearing it, sis. And everybody loves the way Rihanna smells, so she bought it. Okay, so the notes in this one are orange blossom, vanilla, neroli, marshmallow. So it literally smells like that. It literally has like this citrusy, like, it's like a sexy, like orange sickle, sexy Fruit Loops. Oh, I'm selling this to you guys. It doesn't sound like I am, but this really does smell like luscious, like, it smells like sexy marshmallows. Like sexy, like citrusy, like a orange, like a cream, like an orange creamsicle, but like for adults. I don't know if I'm doing this justice explaining this, but the citrus that you kind of smell, the freshness that you kind of smell from the neroli and the orange blossom, really make this very balanced, so that vanilla and that marshmallow doesn't make this smell overly sweet. It does smell sweet, and it turns actually quite sweet on me. Typically, things that are warm florals, like I would say this one is, typically stay very sweet on me, which I prefer. That's the reason I like warm florals. The floral aspect of this, because of the orange blossom, really balances this out, so I don't smell like just sugar. But I smell sweet enough for it to be decadent, if that makes sense. Yes, I think that was a better description, better than Sexy Fruit Loops, right? But that was Love Don't Be Shy. It is available on sephora.com if you wanted to check that out. Another one that I got from my job, and this actually just released like I think a week or two ago. This is the Perfect Marc Jacobs, and this one has notes of almond milk, musk, and rhubarb. So I know this sounds very weird, but this one also smells like a sexy, like, strawberry milkshake. It doesn't sound like something you would want to wear, but it's very nice. It's very like creamy and comforting because of the almond milk, and it kind of like makes it more mellow smelling. The musk makes it smell fresher. And then that rhubarb, if you guys aren't familiar with rhubarb, the taste and texture of rhubarb is very similar to strawberry. So if you've ever seen like a rhubarb pie or strawberry rhubarb pie, the reason why they're typically paired together is they're actually very similar in smell, texture, and taste, even though it's a completely different fruit. Rhubarb literally looks like strawberry celery, but it tastes like a strawberry. And this literally smells like sexy strawberry milkshake, like strawberry cereal. I know, whatever. But I got a roller ball on purpose because I wanted to see how long I could go without using half of this before I buy the full size. I typically do that. Typically, if I really like a fragrance, a perfume of any kind, I'll buy the roller ball first, because I know that if I really like it, I'm eventually gonna buy the full size and I can keep this for travel. So yeah, that's why you see me with so many roller balls because I typically will wait on purpose and then save these once I feel like I'm getting down into the tube, because I don't want to use it all. Lastly, we actually have a fragrance from a retail store, and this is actually the only place I buy fragrances from, and it's Zara. If you are not hip to Zara's fragrances, both men and women, you're asleep. You're asleep. You're asleep. This is amazing. This is the scent Gourmand Addict. So that's actually what originally attracted me to the perfume, is the fact that it said Gourmand Addict, and I was like, yes. So of course, if you've ever been in Zara and you've seen the stuff, you know that you can't really smell anything right now because they took away the testers. I actually took it upon myself to look this up, and if I remember correctly, this has notes of peach, cassis, and what's the other one? Oh, it's like a caramel vanilla like base. So this literally, to me, it smells like bourbon vanilla. This literally to me smells like a summery peach cobbler. It does. It smells like summery peach cobbler. It smells like if you grilled the peaches and made like a summery peach crisp. But it smells like fruity, but then you get the freshness of the cassis in there, and it's fire. Like, it's so good. This is a toilette, but it does last like a parfum. This is, I believe this was $17.90. I forget what size that is. I don't know if this is like 3 something ounces or what, but this is a pretty sizable amount, and it wears very well. I typically make sure that when I wear toilettes in particular, that I make sure I have on like a body butter or something really emollient so that this can stick and so that it can wear longer because it won't evaporate off the skin as easily. This one's nice, y'all. So yeah, that was my extensive haul. So if any of this stuff interests you, I mean, let me know in the comments. Like, if you already have some of this stuff, if you're inquiring about seeing about this stuff because you see me talk about it today, I will be linking some of those indie brands that I mentioned in the description box if you want to check them out. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for future videos. I have upcoming videos for my complexion series. I took a little break because I wanted to talk about products really quick. I wanted to do something more fun before we get like into the nitty-gritty of stuff. The first one will be about tools. So stay tuned if you are looking to either broaden your horizon or even just start off with learning about tools, what tools to get, how they work, what they mean. I got you. Trust me. So stay tuned for that. And I thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me, and see you in the next video.